It's just, this industry is really weird. I don't even know why people take so long to recognize the wrens. It's beyond me. I'll never understand that.
They are really idiosyncratic, like very revealing lyric writers. On a certain level, it's easy to write pop songs and just make an indie rock record. But when the level of the writing reaches that, that height, and I think people respond to that.
The Wrens on record, you can't understand a word. The way that Charles sings is just, it's like he intentionally disguises the lyrics, almost self-consciously, which is really a shame, because they are some of the best lyricists.
About 1994, and I was working in a record store in Los Angeles, and just browsing through the used bins one day, and I came across a used copy of their first record, Silver. It had this blurred green cover with cursive silver writing, and we could listen to anything in the store, so I popped it in, and I really liked it. So I bought it. I remember my employee discount, it was $6.29, and I brought it home, and I couldn't listen to anything else for 2 weeks straight.
I hope you hear my voice. I hope you're breathing free. You're the wonder of the year, I'm sure. They're happy to see you, happy to be with you.
I had heard about them years ago. They were just one of those bands that I didn't really. They were a band that people talked about, and they were sort of had a good reputation. But I didn't really know that much about them particularly. I never really listened to their records.
Oh no, not this time too. I'm the only one you got to use.
Anytime you write about a rock band, you don't want to just write about them as a rock band, because most people at the end of the day aren't interested in rock bands. They are interested in stories about people, and they're interested in sort of identifying with people's goals and careers and their lives and that sort of thing. And that's what was really interesting about the Wrens. Their music happened to be great, and that made them worth talking about in the first place. But what was good about them as a story was that they were, it was really about sort of human, sort of perseverance and not giving up, and about having all these, they got a lot of bad breaks.
I can't believe what life's done to me.
They're like almost everyone else you see. They have these jobs, they go to them every day, and they're like, but they have this kind of thing, this dream, this that this sort of project that sort of sustains them, and that they have kept at, despite all these reasons not to, and that that the group dynamic was really what held them together. A lot of bands usually go through tons of changes. Even bands that go through much less turmoil than they did, people just don't get along for all that long.
This time, getting to enjoy the music and the success that we've had, the nice success, is that it's the people too. It's people that come to the shows, people that write emails, people that kind of are into the music, or we get to hear what they're doing. It's something that we never enjoyed in the past like we enjoy now.
When they put out the Meadowlands, they just put it out for themselves, They didn't expect anybody to care. They didn't expect anyone to want to hear it or for there to be any press coverage or anything like that.
When you see a band and they're overcoming, you know, a shitty sound system or the limitations of their own ability to play or an audience that doesn't care or any number of things, but as long as if you watch them and you get the feeling that as you're watching them, they're overcoming something that's trying to squash them, then there's this wonderful feeling, and that's rock and roll. And there are other kinds of musical energy that are good, and a show doesn't have to be rock to be good. But that quality is particularly exciting, and I think the Wrens just have it in spades.
See, it helps being in a band for 14 years because then all that bullshit pretension that you're going to be a rock star is going to fucking happen. That's gone.
They bring in so many different things, so many different influences from like you know, the Beatles to Lou Reed to the Pixies to you name it, you know, the Sex Pistols. They put danger back into music. You know, it's not safe music. You know, even like, you know, the love songs are like, you know, aren't your saccharine love songs. You know, and that's what I think is really kind of exciting about them. Like, people really respond to the fact that, you know, here's a band who's singing songs that everybody gets, but it's challenging enough that makes you go back to it.
She was glass of fun. I put your face on arrow. Yeah. 5 rows of flowers when hero. Clothes to dress blue back on fire. Sat at the bottom where that's
start a record label because I think I know anything. I just happen to think the Wrens were genius, but so did a lot of other people. I mean, they have amazing songwriting potential. And who's big today on the radio? They don't come near the Wrens.
You know, they got a New York Times feature that was huge for them. You know, not like, you know, Magnet proclaimed them like one of the greatest bands of all time. You know, it was such a great thing, and like, you know, and people love this band.
Thank you. We clap for ourselves.